Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the tipping series where I go through all 8 games this round, round 5, and I'm going to give you my tips. I've already recorded this, but I forgot to turn the mic on again. So I've literally already recorded this, so let's get right into it nonetheless. This is a round that is characterized by big repercussions. There's one game in here in particular that could send the club, that if they lose, into turmoil. Starting off on Thursday night, we've got the Melbourne Football Club taking on the Brisbane Lions. Now, I tipped Melbourne. Melbourne will win. I think Melbourne will win by around 20 points. So, comfortable, but Brisbane will challenge. Brisbane will challenge hard. Brisbane could win. But the problem I have with Brisbane is they're not in form. Sometimes when a team's not in form, I tip them because I think they have to find form, and this is the game. But they're coming up against Melbourne, who was second on the ladder, and they look the real deal. And they're in a lot of form, Melbourne. A lot of form. Brisbane, if they lose this game, they go 1-5, and they'll find themselves at the very least 13th. If Richmond win, probably 14th. If Melbourne win, they'll find themselves in the top 4, staying in. But if they lose, they might start slipping. So there's already repercussions here. Brisbane, if they start the season 1-5, top 4 is in big doubt. Big doubt. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's in big doubt, which I think is something to note. But we'll go with the Melbourne Football Club, because this is the MCG. Sorry. Next up on Friday night, we've got the Doggies taking on Essendon. This is a game I'm excited for. I do think both these teams are hot and cold. The Doggies could turn up, Essendon couldn't, or vice versa. I think Essendon will turn up. After last week's, that Port Adelaide pulled their pants down last week and they got embarrassed. So they will respond. So Essendon won't lose by a big margin. I do think there's that slight chance that Brisbane, that the Dogs do lose by a big margin for some reason. A little bit of bias here. I do not like the Essendon Football Club. So I'm going to tip the Dogs. It's at Marvel. The Dogs play Marvel better. And that is why the Dogs win by 7 points. It'll be a close game. But I'm going to go with the home team here. And the Doggies are more in form. Both teams are 2-4. So this is a separation game. This round is also a game where even meets even. 2-4. One's going to be 3-5. One's going to be 2-5. Next up, we've got the GWS Giants taking on St Kilda. I was so tempted to tip the Saints here. So tempted. I think St Kilda could go and upset the Giants. The Giants are at home, but they have not been looking good the last couple of weeks. A little bit fragile, a little bit weak. Sort of like Sydney as well. Both New South Wales teams are not looking that good, but I am going to tip the Giants still by around 12 points. I think the St Kilda will challenge them. I'm a big fan of St Kilda at the moment. They're an exciting team to watch. They got lucky last week because if they'd come up against basically any other team in the comp, they would have been blown away in that first half. But because it was Richmond, they couldn't hit the scoreboard because we're just young and just not good. Very sad. So they're lucky in that respect. So they're not in the greatest form, but I do think, I feel like St Kilda play well against the Giants. But we're going to be tipping the GWS Giants here. Next up, the biggest game of the week, I think, in terms of repercussion. The best game will be Melbourne-Brisbane. The biggest one in terms of repercussion, Carlton at Marvel Stadium, technically the home ground, are taking on the Adelaide Football Club. Saturday afternoon, I don't know why it's not at the G, but it's not. If Adelaide lose this game, they go 0-5. 0-5. If Carlton win this game, they go 5-0. Adelaide Football Club, if they lose this game by over 40 points, over 30 points, they are going to be in for a world of pain. They're going to have external pressures everywhere. The coach will be in doubt. The leadership group are in doubt. The players in doubt. The club in doubt. Adelaide were a hyped up team in pre-season. Many, including myself, put them in the top 8. It makes sense. They should have made the 8 last year if it wasn't for a dodgy goal decision against Sydney. Like, they literally categorically should have made the 8 because an umpire made a mistake. And everyone thought they've got a young list, a young coach, they should build on that. And they'll get further up in the 8. And it's just taken a turn for the worse. Matty Nix is to blame, I think. He can't get the midfield mix right. And he can't get the forward line firing. And he can't get any connections anywhere. In saying that, I'll give you my prediction. The Carlton Football Club will win. But it will not be a blowout because Adelaide just cannot let it be a blowout. So I think they'll only win by around 20 points. Let's go with 22. Next up, we've got the Gold Coast Football taking on Hawthorn. I like to put one little dodgy underdog prediction in, and this is my one. The Hawthorn Football Club will beat the Gold Coast Football Club. Yes, it is at Gold Coast home ground, but I'm a big fan of Hawthorn. I tipped in the first 3 rounds of the year. They lost all of them. They've let me down this year, Hawthorn. They've let a lot of people down, mainly their own fans. But they looked great against Collingwood, and I reckon they're going to upset Damien Hardwick's Gold Coast Suns. Now, Gold Coast are looking decent at the moment, but I am saying, fuck it, the Hawks are going to win. And subsequently, I've got Hawthorn defeating Gold Coast by a staggering 2 points. An upset of the round belongs to Sam Mitchell and his young Hawks. Next up, we've got Adelaide Oval. Saturday night, Port Adelaide taking on Fremantle. I think Port Adelaide win this comfortably. Fremantle overperforming. I think Port Adelaide are slightly underperforming. And I think they're going to win by a comfortable 35 points. That will take Port Adelaide to 4 wins in 5 games. And Fremantle will get their second loss. And that'll probably put them maybe out the 8, depending on other results. So we're going to go Port Adelaide there. That was in English. We're going to go Port Adelaide there. 2 more rounds to go. There's only 8 rounds this week, like I said. Geelong, North Melbourne at GMHBA. I think Geelong slaughter North Melbourne. I think they cut up North Melbourne, put them in a frying pan and win by around 40 points. Let's not go anymore. I think North Melbourne will put a fight. Geelong didn't look amazing against the Dogs, so I think North Melbourne have a very slim fighting chance. But we'll be going Geelong by 40 points. Comfortable victory there on a Sunday. Last round, the round I'm most scared of. The game I'm scared of. I'm going to be watching this and I could lose my head. The West Coast Eagles at Optus Stadium are taking on the Richmond Football Club. If West Coast win this game, I am going to cry because that's probably going to be their only victory this season. I'm scared. We don't have Bolter. We don't have Lynch. We played great against St Kilda, but we're on and off. We're a young team with a young coach with a new game style. It's hard to know who to tip. It is. Wallahi, it is hard to know who to tip. I'm going to back my boys. I'm going to back them. But I feel like if I wasn't a Richmond fan, I would tip West Coast. But most weeks I don't tip Richmond. I think I've tipped Richmond like once this year. Once? If that. No, I don't think I've tipped Richmond yet. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but this is the round I do it. We have to beat West Coast. Oh my God, if we don't beat West Coast. Fucking hell. Let's touch wood. So, please don't beat West Coast. Please beat West Coast. Fucking hell. And then last we had the bye. Collingwood and Sydney get a rest. And that'll be it. So some big tips there. Some big games. Melbourne, Brisbane, Carlton, Adelaide, and West Coast, Richmond are the big decider games, I think. It's going to be interesting to see who wins. Let me know your tips in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm going to be seeing you in another video.